Hello, HKDSE 2020 English language is approaching in a few days. Are you ready for it? To support you to prepare well for paper 2. Today, we will review some hot topics for this year and learn about the related vocabulary and points. What to wait? Let's start, buddies. Topic 1. Peer pressure and school. When your friends in school are thinking about something or doing something on campus, you might easily follow them and copy them. That is peer pressure. Usually, under peer pressure, students might do something wrong. For example, they skip class. They cheat on a test. They misbehave in school. For example, breaking the school rules. Or if you do not listen to your friends and follow what they are doing, you might suffer from isolation. That means no one will eat with you, no one will sit next to you during the lesson, or no one will chit chat with you at recess. You may actually ask, so how can we solve the problem of peer pressure in school? And here are the suggestions. Number 1, students need to learn to be assertive. They need to trust what they believe. They need to trust what they are doing. And they need not listen to the others easily and all the time. That is assertive. Second, students need to think ahead. They need to think about the result if they always skip class. They need to think about what will be the penalty if they cheat on a test. They need to think about what will be the consequence if they misbehave in school all the time. That is, think ahead. Think about the future. Third, on the side of the school, teachers can join parents to build positive peer influence among students. In other words, students can support each other mainly on study, on extracurricular activities, and also their own healthy development. Topic 2. Love in our city. Although we are still young, we can actually use our efforts to help the others around us in Hong Kong, in society. Or we can say teenagers can help address others' needs. Teenagers can help solve the problem of the others. So what can we do? Here are the suggestions. First, we can accompany the elderly. We can chat with them more. We can listen to their past stories. We can hang out for yum cha with them. Second, we can help out the food bank. Nowadays, there are still a lot of Hong Kong people who do not eat enough every day. As a teenager, we can surely help out the food bank to prepare hot food for people who are in need. We have lots of food banks in Hong Kong. For example, Food Angel is one of them. Third, volunteer at a local homeless shelter. Hong Kong is a place with high rental prices of apartments and also houses. A lot of people who do not have their home. When we have free time, we can volunteer at a local homeless shelter and give our support to them. Fourth, show empathy to people who need emotional support. Hong Kong is actually a place with high stress and tension. A lot of people need emotional support. So, as a teenager, we can actually show empathy to these people. In other words, we can actually think about what they think, feel about what they feel, lend them our ears and listen to them more. That's simple, but something we can actually do. Fifth, pass on your personal knowledge to the others in the mentorship programs. We have mentorship programs in school. They are the big brother or big sister programs in which we can actually share our examination experience or our subject knowledge to our little brothers and sisters in the same school, or maybe some people outside campus as well. So you can surely pass on your personal knowledge to them, which means share what you know to the people in the mentorship programs or big brother sister programs. Topic 3, school rules. If you're asked to write an argument essay or to write something for a script in the debate, you might easily be asked whether we need school rules or not. So what are the reasons why we need school rules? Number 1, they foster a healthy learning environment. Foster, it means it build a healthy learning environment for everybody to teach and learn in school. Second, they maintain order in a big group of people. Since school usually have a lot of people working and studying, we need order. With school rules, people know they should line up when they are buying things in the tuck shop. People understand they need to return the books to the library on time. So maintain order is another reason why we need school rules. But they prepare students for adulthood. We have school rules when we are young. So when we grow, we also need to and understand we should obey rules and regulations when we work in a company or when we study in university. School rules prepare students for adulthood, for the adult life. In short, school rules are set for 3 purposes. First, self-preservation. Self-preservation means everybody is protected on campus. Everybody is studying and also working happily and safely in school. Second, peer consideration. School rules help students consider others more when they take action and never make harms on people in the same building of the school campus. So peer consideration is another reason why we need school rules. Third, respect for authority. School rules help students learn to show respect to the school principal, teachers, and other adults in the same school campus. In other words, students learn to show respect to the others because of school rules. It totally matches up with our Chinese culture to show respect to the others. So all in all, there are the 3 hot topics we can share with you for HKDSE 2020 English Language Paper 2 this year. Before I pass on the time to my colleague to talk about the language grammatical mistakes students usually committed in HKDSE Paper 2, let me just remind you, this year, you might be asked to write an article or a short essay, no matter for Section A or Section B. Make sure every time before you're writing an article, you need to start it with a good title. A good title usually is written with only 3 to 7 words, so never make it too long. At the same time, make sure the content words of the title always begin with a big letter. So it will be eye-catching enough, and it also promises a good start of your writing in your HKDSE Paper 2. All the best of luck to everybody. Now, let's learn more about the grammatical mistakes we also usually commit when we are writing Paper 2 answer in HKDSE.
In order to do well in the DSE English Paper 2 writing, you will need to take note of what to write, the content, how you structured it, the organization, and of course, the language. Let's have a look at some of the points to note about language, the English grammar, so as to know more about how to score well in the coming up exam. In the English writing paper, you may be asked to recall something that you are familiar with. For example, your school life. Just like in 2019, the English writing paper is actually asking you to recall your favorite subjects or a subject that you find challenging, and also to describe something that happened in your class by looking at a class photo. What would you write then? For example, if you would like to recall that English your favorite subject, among others, what would you say? On this slide, you see 4 sentences, which starts with one of. Which one do you think is the correct sentence to use if you were to describe this English is your favorite subject? Well, after one of, we'll need to use a plural noun phrase. So options A and B are not correct then. How about options C and D? After one of, we need a plural noun phrase, so one of my favorite subjects is a possible beginning. So how about a verb? In this kind of sentence structure, we'll need to use a singular verb. So actually, option D is the correct answer. One of my favorite subjects is English. In this way, you can recall that your favorite subject, among others, is English. So after saying which subject is your favorite, you might like to say why. And here are 4 sentences that would like to explain to others why this is your favorite subject. For example, you can mention that, well, as a whole, okay, all the assignments are challenging and fun to work on. So option A is a possible sentence, because when we use all, it means that it is a plural. So all assignments are challenging and fun to work on. We use plural noun and also plural verb. How about the other 3 sentences? All of them begin with every. Which one is the correct one? When we use every, we need to use a singular noun to follow. And after that, we also need to use a singular verb as well. Because using every means that we would like to talk about every individual of a whole group. So in that sense, it's singular throughout. So option D is the correct sentence to say then. Every assignment is challenging and fun to work on. Even though options A and D have similar meanings to us, they are actually expressed in a different manner. Option A is talking about plural form and option D is about singular form. Since we don't have the singular and plural differences in Cantonese, sometimes we'll mix it up. So be very careful about this then. Next, we would like to talk about conjunctions. Please look at the first sentence here. Although the questions are challenging, but I love working out the answers. So this is a possible continuation of elaboration in explaining why English is your favorite subject. Another possible way to say so is, because the questions are challenging, so I love working out the answers. They are both not very grammatically correct. Can you see why? Even though we understand these 2 sentences, well, they are not correct in English. In Cantonese, we'll usually say although and but in the same sentence, and also because and so in the same sentence. However, in English, we'll only use one of them in the same sentence to express ourselves. So we can either say, although the questions are challenging, I love working out the answers. Or I can say, the questions are challenging, but I love working out the answers. Either although or but in one sentence is fine to express ourselves. Same for the words because and so. Because the questions are challenging, I love working out the answers. The questions are challenging, so I love working out the answers. In these sentences, we can see that if we use although but together or because so together, well, it's not correct in English, even though it makes sense in Cantonese. So please try to avoid these Chinglish then. After recalling the memories of school life, you might like to end it with a sentence like this. I will miss my classmates and my teachers in secondary 6. This is a regular, well-formed sentence, but at the same time, some of us may think about how to say it better, for example, by using the structure not only but also. Well, this is a good sentence structure to use, and it also shows others how our sentence structural skills would be, which is also very important in our English writing paper. So let's have a look at the possibilities then. This is the first variation. I not only will miss my classmates, but also will miss my teachers in secondary 6. So this is one of the possibilities. After not only, I have 2 verb phrases. I will miss my classmates. I will miss the teachers in secondary 6. Here we have the same grammatical pattern repeated after not only and but also. Another possible variation is here. I will miss not only my classmates, but also the teachers in secondary 6. So here I'm placing not only after will miss, So after not only, but also, I will only use a noun phrase. Not only my classmates, but also the teachers in secondary 6. Well, these two are possible variations, but of course we can put even stronger emphasis on this sentence by saying not only first. So how do we do that? In that sense, we are going to use not only to begin with subject-verb inversion as well. Not only will I miss my classmates, but also the teachers in secondary 6. Now this sentence structure is the third possible variation. It says that I have the emphasis on the sentence that my meaning is also coming across in a stronger sense as well. Not only will I miss my classmates, but also the teachers in secondary 6. So in English paper writing, please make sure that you're using the correct singular or plural noun and verb forms. Please make sure you also use the correct conjunction, and also to vary your sentence structure, you may try not only, but also with the subject-verb inversion as well. This will show the marker that you are able to write different sentence structures well.